What's up, everybody? My name's Alexander Gallup, and I'm here with Nick Townsend, a.k.a. Swaggy T.
What's up, man?
First Quackback Podcast. Yo, what up, everybody, and welcome back to the Quackback Podcast. It's AG, your boy Swaggy T.
What's going on?
What up, dude? You're back for episode 3, and new to episode 3, we have live in video.
You know, it should be illegal to have us sexy gentlemen on camera.
I can see that sexy face of yours, Swaggy.
Look at that right there.
Stop it. All right, my man, let's get right into it. The topic of the day is... NFL football,
back, baby.
It's
Woo!
back. Woo! Yeah. We were supposed to have our first preseason game already, the Hall of Fame game, but unfortunately, whoever's doing the field over there can't figure out what kind of paint to use, and apparently the players didn't want to play on it. It was too much of a cement surface, so we have no Hall of Fame game.
You know what? You would think with the NFL being a multi-billion-dollar business, they could hire some decent painters, wouldn't they?
So, not only is the NFL back for the next season, NFL is back in Los Angeles.
Yes.
For the first time in 22 years.
22 years, that should have never, ever happened.
I agree.
But nonetheless, the NFL is finally back in Tinseltown, baby.
We got some excitement back here in the Southland, and we also have a huge quarterback controversy as well.
We do.
Which is always a lot of fun. Swaggy, I heard you went to one of the training camps.
I did.
Okay.
You know, I went last week. I went with my friend Jade Willie. Shout out to Jade. Hopefully you're being a good American citizen tonight. Gurley looked really good in camp. I noticed that Keenum was getting first-team reps the majority of practice.
Sure.
Goff looks like a first-round pick. I mean, he's got a steep learning curve. First snap I saw Goff take at camp, he mishandled the snap. Okay. He looked okay in practice, but I have a feeling he's going to start week 1. I just have that feeling. I'm not too sold on Keenum. Plus, as you just mentioned, 22 years since the NFL's been back in L.A., I think the Rams are going to need a big splash right off the bat.
Sure. I mean, I believe, as a lot of the tabloids have been saying, that Keenum is probably the guy as of right now. He's got the most experience. He's probably the most ready to go. He knows the system better than Goff does, I think, at this point. However, LA is a town of glitz and glamour. They want to see their big, shining, golden boy number 1 pick. I believe that as well. I personally don't think they're going to see him until maybe week 4, week 5. I think maybe they save him a little bit.
What they need Goff to do is be a game manager. Give the ball to Gurley. Make the throws when you need to. Key is do not turn the ball over. As long as he does that, the Rams can be successful, maybe even make the playoffs. They have a shot, but that's what they need to do.
Gurley is key. I definitely agree with that, especially if you're putting in a young QB there. You need to have a running game that's strong so that you can open up some of that passing game as well, right?
Absolutely.
All right, well, that is Los Angeles. Let's segue here into Denver, where they have Mr. Butt Fumble Sanchez.
Why you gotta bring that up, man? Why do you gotta bring that up? As the starter
for week 1 of the preseason. How do you feel about that, Swaggy?
You know what? I'm okay with it for now.
Okay.
I know he's Mr. Butt Fumble. He's also got playoff wins against Peyton Manning. He's got playoff wins against Phillip Rivers. And he's got a playoff win against the great Tom Brady. So sure, he might have butt fumbled his way to glory and fame, if you want to call it that. But he's got playoff wins. He's got experience.
Right.
He also had those playoff wins with the great defense behind him, where in Denver he's going to have an even better defense. So I think he'll be okay. You probably know this. Peyton Manning threw 9 touchdowns and 17 picks last year. Even with Sanchez behind the butt, as I would like to call it. I think he can't be much worse than Peyton was last year. So having said that, I think Paxton Lynch, by the end of the season, will be the starter.
I personally feel that Paxton Lynch is going to turn out to be the best quarterback of this draft class.
I 150% agree.
Yeah, I don't think it's Goff. I don't think it's anyone else. I think it's definitely going to be Paxton Lynch. Let's segue here now into the Patriots. Do you think there's any hope for the Patriots this season? It seems like they're kind of in shambles. There's a lot of crap going on with the Patriots. We've got Brady suspended for the first 4 games. We have Edelman that just had an injury to his foot that we're really not sure about. We also have Ninkovich injury as well, and Garoppolo as the starting quarterback. Do you see a lot of hope for this team? You think it might be maybe a rebuilding year?
Who's the coach of the Patriots?
Bill Belichick.
That's all you need to know about New England.
Okay.
It doesn't for you and I could play for the Patriots and they'll still win 11 games. Honestly, I'm not too worried about Brady being suspended. Suspended. I'm not worried about Edelman getting injured. You know what? I like to tell people this when it comes to friendly debates. Bill Belichick won 11 games with Matt Castle as a starting quarterback. Look at the Patriots' first 4 games. Granted, they start week 1 at Arizona. That's a tough one right there. After that, though, they got Miami at home. They got Houston at home. They got Buffalo at home. Those are winnable games, even with Jimmy Garoppolo, however you say his last name.
Whatever the hell his name is. So I think the Patriots will be just fine. They're going to be AFC East champions again. They're going to win 11, 12 games like they do every year. I'm not worried one bit. Okay. All right, let's get into the Dallas Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott is their golden boy. Having some hamstring issues. Personally, having played with hamstring issues, I understand that that's a huge deal. It's not something that you can just bounce back from. So given the fact that their brand new running back has hamstring issues at the beginning of the season, how do you feel about the Dallas Cowboys?
You know what? I think they're going to have a bounce back year. They had a dreadful season last year, but they had several injuries. I think they will be okay. I know Elliott's having his hamstring issues. I think he's going to be Offensive Rookie of the Year. I think he'll be all right come regular season. I'm buying into the kid. The key with the Cowboys, as it's been for the last 10, 9, 8 years, is Tony Romo going to stay healthy.
I was going to say, are you buying into Elliott, but are you buying into Tony Romo?
This year, I think he will.
Really?
It's 50-50 with Romo. He could either be really great or he may not even be playing. He might be in the baseball cap on the sidelines.
True.
I think Romo's going to stay healthy this year. He's got a lot to prove. Dez is also going to be healthy this year. Dez was hurt last year too. So if they get that core of 3 guys, the second coming of the triplets, I think Dallas will win that division. They're not in the toughest division. I think they're going to have a bounce back year.
Okay, let's transition into the Seahawks now. We got Thomas Rawls missing practices already. A little bit concerning because he missed a few games last season. We also have Jimmy Graham out of practice right now with a knee injury. It's a patella tendon type of deal. All these things are definitely making me not feel very confident in what the Seahawks can do this year. What do you feel about the Seahawks?
I'm feeling the exact opposite of you, my friend AG.
Okay.
I think Seattle's going to have a bounce back year as well. They had a great year last year too. Almost came back from that 31-0 deficit against Carolina. Mm-hmm. I think they're going to be a Super Bowl contender this year.
The first year without beast mode.
That is true, but Russell Wilson really started to evolve into a passing quarterback last year. He had his best passing statistics last year.
Okay.
He's getting more comfortable with his receivers. He's had Curse for a few years, he's got the rookie Lockett. I think Jimmy Graham is going to have a healthy season. Plus, they're getting the original Legion of Boom back. Brandon Browner is going to be back. He might be suspended because he got into some legal trouble this year. Mm-hmm. Cam Chancellor is not going to miss the first couple of games. I think Seattle's going to have a bounce back year. Plus, Rawls missed the later part of the season last year too. I think Seattle is going to be much better this year than they were last year. Okay. And speaking of Russell Wilson, I think that's going to be your 2016 NFL MVP, and I think he's going to be the best quarterback this year.
Really? We're going Russell
Wilson.
That's
my pick for the MVP this year. I'm sold on Russell Wilson this year.
Given you said that, top 3 QBs of the season. Go.
I'm going to go Russell Wilson 1. I know a lot of people are thinking, Swaggy, you're crazy. But I'm going Russell Wilson 1. I'm going A-Rod. The new A-Rod, the actual likable A-Rod, Aaron Rodgers, too. You know what? He had a down year last year, and he still had a pretty good year. He's getting Jordy Nelson back, so I'm going to go Aaron Rodgers, too. Okay. And number 3 is an interesting one. I'm looking at a few people, but if you are only going to let me pick one quarterback, I know Brady's suspended. I'm going to have to go with Cam. I think he's getting Kelvin Benjamin back. He's got a lot to prove. I'm going to go Cam 3.
I think I put A-Rod number 1, actually. I'm not with you as far as Russell Wilson. I think Russell Wilson has made some great gains. I don't think he's ready to be number 1 quarterback. I think Seattle still has some issues to work through, especially in the running game, that's going to affect their passing game, especially missing Jimmy Graham. Obviously, Jimmy Graham is a huge part of the passing game, and having a tight end in general they can take some of that pressure off the wide receivers is going to be huge for them. If they can do that and if they can keep a running back healthy, I think absolutely Russell Wilson has a shot at being a top 5 quarterback. But I would go Aaron Rodgers number 1. I would go, even though he's missing 4 games, I would go Tom Brady number 2. I say Tom Brady comes back with a fierce just fire under his ass, and he starts playing like none other in Game 5 and finishes out that season the way that he should, the way that everybody knows that Tom Brady can play. And I'm going to actually go Ben Roethlisberger number 3. I think they have a really talented wide receiving core. I think as long as Le'Veon Bell can stay healthy and do things well on the ground, that they'll definitely free up a lot of space in the wide receiver core. And I think Roethlisberger has, all the weapons and all the tools he needs to hit those wide receivers.
Can't really argue with that. I was also thinking about Big Ben. I mean, he's got Antonio Brown, best receiver in the league, throwing the ball too.
Yeah.
Brady, my only concern with him is he's going to be 39 this year. Granted, he was great at 38, but Peyton was great at 38, and look what happened when Peyton turned 39.
All right, everybody, you heard it. This has been Quackback Podcast, Episode 3. AG, your boy Swaggy T.
That's right.
Thanks for listening once again. Be sure to like and follow our page on Facebook, Quackback Podcast.
Do it.
And we will be back for Episode 4 here within the next couple weeks, discussing our predictions for the NFL season. Quick, AFC West.
Denver.
The Raiders.
Oh, get out of here with that nonsense. Get out of here.
Quackback Podcast.